Hello twin flames, welcome to my channel and welcome to your daily check-in. Let's dive right in. This week is pretty big with culmination in the start of the eclipse season on Friday. It is coincidentally also going to be the start of Mercury retrograde. Who would have thought? And we already have Virgo in retrograde, and that's something I spoke about last week when it went retrograde. So let's continue unpacking these different topics because, of course, as much as they overlap, they have certain meaning separately, and also depending on your specific natal chart, they will also impact you differently. So don't really, I didn't want this to be just like one reading about everything that's happening on Friday, right? And so today I want to dedicate this reading to Mercury retrograde specifically, so we can see how it impacts the twins. And then in terms of astrology, one thing that I usually recommend is see where Mercury is for you, which house it guardians. It is a guardian for, and that's how you'll see which area of your life is going to be mostly impacted. Okay, so we will start with, and of course you all know that Mercury is, when it goes in retrograde, it kind of messes up the way we communicate and understand each other, messes up technology, transportation. So we know kind of the umbrella understanding of it. But let's see what it brings about this time, what we need to know. It always lasts for 3 weeks. This is the first one in 2025. All right? And it starts on Friday, not today, not yet. But I'm just giving you a bit of heads up with this reading. So we'll start with a card from the Archetypes Guidebook because I really wanted to go into themes of what the theme is going to be for each of the twin collectives. And then we'll go into our spread and, see what kind of, what is going to unfold karmically for each of the twins. And we'll see, we'll do a check on the energy to see how do we enter this time? Where are we right now as we enter this moment? And then we'll also see what kind of opportunities it brings to us. Like, what are we uncovering? What are we looking into? Because remember, the retrograde is a lot about reflection, introspection. Okay, so feminines, and of course, don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to my channel if you're new. By the way, I will also be doing, obviously we'll be doing an eclipse reading this week, a full moon reading this week. It's all happening on Friday. And I am targeting to do eclipse reading on my other channel with messages for each zodiac sign. That's where I do my horoscopes on Mindful Bamboo. By the way, go there to catch your March horoscope if you haven't seen it yet. It's for love, work, general guidance. So yes, stay tuned. I will definitely share the link when it's ready. But yeah, it's gonna be a lot. And Friday is actually a really busy day for me already. Like, I'm doing so much stuff. All good, but a lot. So I want to try and do this readings a little bit before that, so that Friday I possibly will not even do this kind of reading on this channel. We'll see what happens. No promises. We'll see. Okay, feminines. You've got Thanatos. And no, I do not know what it is, so I'll have to look it up in the book. A little anticlimactic. Sorry about that. Looks like 73. Number 73. This is part of the initiations, so we're looking into initiations with this. And this means death, actually. Oh, there you go. That makes total sense. It is tempting to oversimplify death and sum it up as transformation. But the true archetypal resonance of Thanatos cannot be easily assimilated or contained. Death is ongoing and omnipresent, an eternal response to the gift of birth. Witnessing the ending of another being, creature, phase, or stage has deep consequences for the psyche. We are forever changed by Thanatos as it sweeps us under its wings, making us relinquish control in every form. It leaves a mark of ash upon our heart, signifying that we have touched the cusp of the underworld and will return to the land of the living eventually, with more compassion and wisdom to share. The capacity is needed in our world, this capacity. One who has faced the annihilation of Thanatos can face anything. When the card appears, it signifies an initiation into the underworld. Yeah, I like the word. I mean, transformation obviously is a big thing. Anyone who's had a near-death experience can also talk about like this specific, like, we touched the underworld, we came back kind of thing. The ashes are on our heart from that experience. Quite literally. Not the ashes, but I mean the experience is quite literal. But the phrase that caught my eye was about relinquishing control. Because in the face of death, we understand we have no control. And that is something to think about here, and maybe for some of you, there are topics about maybe aging, maybe some kind of danger, God forbid, but maybe even death specifically. Maybe you lost someone recently. Maybe you got that bad diagnosis that got you into the spiral. Whatever it is, right? It's like, I don't know what I can do, right? You can do certain things, maybe, but you cannot at the end of the day control whether it's going to happen or not for you. And that is this is one of the biggest fears that we have as human beings, just like genetically. Forever and ever, it's been like that. And so this is like when you're looking at this topic, no matter what your angle to it is, it kind of like you're going to that depth, of the collective fear. Wow, it's powerful. And deep down, we never want to relinquish control. So that could be a thing for sure. Wanting to control the situation. The relationship, maybe. And for the masculines, we have the thread, number 70. So not too far away from the Thanatos. The path, the vein, the circuit. Life is a tangle. It's an interesting illustration. Life is a tangle. So much happens simultaneously and circuitously, leaving us grappling for meaning and direction in a network of distractions. When we connect to the energy of the thread, however, we strike the deepest vein in the body. Our whole being responds to its tug. Meaning is pumped through our bloodstream. Our mind and spirits are lifted. We remember who we are and we came into this world to do, and what we came into this world to do. Though this happens on the most profound level, it could be the simplest incident that activates the thread. A song, an image, a conversation heard in a passing. No matter how confusing and multi-layered our modern lives become, if we are connected to the thread, we are free. Being tethered to it is the only anchor our heart requires. It's like following your path, right? That could be like that visual of the alignment of being on the path, of following your mission and passion, things like that. Very interesting. Okay. And also profound, yes. And the only dependency kind of we have, the main connection that we need. And that could also be scary, by the way, because one of the main points of following the path is the path can lead you into very unfamiliar waters, literally and figuratively, right? And it is about committing to the path to the point where even if you're seeing like fires everywhere around you, you still go in there because you can feel the heartbeat, right? Like you are one with the vein, with the thread, and you keep following it. And yes, there's a good chance that as you're getting closer to the fire, somebody will just like whoosh, jinx you out of it and take you to a completely different place through a portal. I don't know, maybe. You know, like the point is not to just get, you know, burnt in a fire, but it is about trusting that the universe got your back and it will turn out well as long as you're following the path, the thread. Okay, I'm gonna use the Light Seers Tarot today. All right, so the first question is gonna be what the current energy is. The second one is what are we supposed to discover, to unfold? What is the potential outcome? And the third one is how is this changing our perspective on the communication within twin flame dynamic? Bottom of the deck is the King of Pentacles. Yeah, so there's a lot of like laser focus on mission, on growing your kingdom, you know, expanding your business, or maybe finally getting started with your business. It feels like for the feminines, because this is for everyone, but it feels like for the feminines it's more around transforming mindset and maybe even literally going to a completely different place. So maybe at least started living a completely different lifestyle, I mean. For the masculines, it's more around following the path. So like taking leaps of faith and taking steps forward. The Emperor, look at that. Yes, it is about confidence and action. Both cards with very strong masculine energy. And by the way, the eclipses this season are in the Aries and Virgo axis. So Emperor is a strong energy in the air. Although on this day, the moon is gonna be in Virgo, right? But it always touches both sides of the axis. Feminines, your energy at this time, as we enter the Mercury retrograde, is Six of Pentacles clarified by Four Wands. Beautiful energy of balance, of reciprocity, of exercising fairness and authenticity in any interaction you have with anyone. This is not just about twin flame, not just about DM. It's a lot about like being a good team player, you know, being a good egg when it comes to partnerships, whatever they are, friendships, romantic partnerships, business partnerships, right? And it's like I do believe in your integrity, in your commitment, right? Like this is what I bring to the table, my integrity, my commitment, and I have good faith in yours. This is what we have. The masculines, what are they bringing to the table? The Devil was Nine of Cups. Masculines want to live a little, and they come with a thought, come to this Mercury retrograde as a thought of like, I want to enjoy my life. I want to try new things. I want to spend money on myself. You know, I deserve it. I've worked a lot to get myself to this very moment. So yeah, why not? Let's do this. And of course, this doesn't have to be just all material. It usually is with Nine of Cups, honestly, but it can be emotional as well. Meaning that, you know, I just want to enjoy myself in this relationship. So I'm just going to focus on having fun with this, whoever, feminine, for example, right? It could be a karmic feminine, could be a soulmate, whoever, doesn't matter, right? Like I'm just going to focus on that. And that's self-indulgence in a way as well, in the mindset view, right? Like I'm going to ignore the issues. I'm just going to go with like the more obvious temptation, if you know what I mean. What is the possible outcome and discovery for the feminines at the end of this Mercury retrograde? Ten of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles. Isn't that beautiful? And this is like a different layer. I don't even want to sound like an old record, but it is a different layer of collaboration and partnership. But this is a lot more rewarding, right? This is about abundance. This is about flowing freely, right? Like we are creating something together as a family, as a community, you know, as a tribe, basically, right? Like seeing how this power of connection can result in beautiful abundance. And it can be money, but again, can be something else. Can be, I don't know, maybe people coming together and creating a garden, right? And then the sign of abundance will be all the fruit and, I don't know, maybe like also herbs, whatever else you're growing. Like the harvest is going to be the reward, the abundance that we get, you know, and it's going to be so good. And we're going to enjoy it so much, right? Or maybe together you're writing a song, right? It could be on this scale. And at the end of it, it fills up your heart so much, right? And it supports you so much that it is so rewarding, the result of that collaboration. And this is that example where 1 + 1 = 5, not 2. The synergy of the energies that are part of the whole. What is the potential outcome and discovery for the masculines? We see King of Wands clarified by 4 of Pentacles. So masculines understand how their masculine energy could have been holding them back, for a while in connection with human beings, in creating something beautiful, right? Like they were very much filtering, like what I say and what I don't say, what I accept and what I don't accept, what I will do and what I won't do. But it wasn't based on like kind of like the inner compass, you know, of morale, values. It was connected to the external validation, right? I'm not gonna do this because it's not gonna look cool, or the other way around. I'm gonna be, I don't know, sarcastic and you know, pushy with my fellow masculines because that looks cool. Like there is like this, almost like the shell on top of the masculines. That's what I'm seeing right now. And they're seeing how that became the image that they portray in the world, but it's not really them. So they are keen, but they are being seen in the world as a 4 of Pentacles guy, which is somebody who doesn't take risks, is kind of closed off, is set in their ways, right? And just likes things to be a certain way, in a very familiar way. What do the feminines need to know and how this retrograde impacts the twin collective and communication with the divine masculine? We see the 6 of Swords and the Knight of Cups. So the floodgate opens basically, right? And especially like even in the sword cards, there's a lot of water here. And then Knight of Cups, right? There's communication of love at the end of it. There is finding of sources of inspiration, right? And finding why this love is so special, how it brings more harmony, how it activates the heart, how it makes both of you kinder to each other. So we will see, of course, as we go through the course of the 3 weeks, what that dynamic would look like day by day, week by week. But this is like based on whatever those events and experiences will be for each of you at the end. This is realization for divine feminines of the beauty of this love and the safety that it brings in a good way. It's like a safe harbor, right? Where you can just be yourself. And sometimes you don't even need to use words. Oh my gosh, masculines, 2 of Cups and Death. So they didn't have Death in the Oracle deck, but for the masculines, but they had it here anyway. Just for the good old sake, just to keep things in sync with the feminines. You know, that's the quintessential machismo masculine energy. Like, I can't be behind, have to keep up with the feminine. And speaking of the feminine, the 2 of Cups is the main energy here. So, but jokes aside, masculines understand at the end of this retrograde of how much this love and this connection with the feminine has changed them. In so many ways. It's like, you know, I don't know if you watched The Big Bang Theory, but there is that episode where Sheldon kind of suddenly realizes that Amy, his girlfriend, has changed his personality, right? Because he was trying to protect it as long as he could, which is that 4 of Pentacles energy, by the way. Kind of like put his foot down and just like keep hammering it, like, okay, this is how we're gonna live, this is what I believe in, this is how I live my life. But at some point he's like, I didn't even notice how like little by little, so he was still giving up like certain things or finding compromises somewhere, little ones seemingly, but then one day he realized that his personality has changed completely because of this relationship, right? And this is kind of what's happening with the masculine. So it's not like they ever had a goal of changing completely, right? But they understood that some things need to change, and obviously that we're not perfect, any of us. Sometimes feeling like they're less than or not deserving of the feminine. Different waves of those feelings. But at this time, they see how much change it actually brought to them, and more than anything, to their heart space and to their ability to love and to express love, which is beautiful. Okay, on this, I'm gonna end this reading. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. Like I said, watch out for extra messages on the other channel. I don't know whether I'm going to do Mercury retrograde, but I'll definitely do for the lunar eclipse this week for each specific zodiac sign. So don't miss that, and we'll definitely talk about eclipse for twin flames one of these days, most likely tomorrow, on this channel. So subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, like the video, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.